Director of Communications at VolunteerMatch, and today we're joined by Martin Cowling, who's an expert from Australia in volunteer engagement, volunteer recruitment, and other aspects of human resources development. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Robert.
Did I get the introduction correct?
Almost. Martin J. Cowling was the name.
Got it.
Slip the J in.
Great. And we've talked with you in the past quite a bit about volunteering within the U.S. and what nonprofits can do to more effectively welcome volunteers. Today, the volunteer industry is roiled in some cases by some trends that are fairly recent on the environment. And I wanted to talk today about some trends that I'm seeing in my role in communications and a lot of questions that we get asked by nonprofits. First off, the media these days is awash in stories about how laid-off workers are volunteering in record numbers. Is this something that you've experienced in working with your clients?
Yes, everybody's talking about it. Everyone's talking about a dramatic rise in the number of inquiries, particularly from people who are being laid off or have been laid off. And it's interesting, it's global. It's happening in New Zealand, Australia, the US, the UK, wherever the recession's biting. And people seem to have bought into the message that we've been selling about volunteering for the last decade, which is volunteering looks good on your resume. Volunteering helps you remain skilled, volunteering helps you develop. So people have actually bought into that message. They're turning up to not-for-profits and they're saying, here I am. The challenge is that many not-for-profits aren't ready for a sudden groundswell, and many of them don't have real jobs for these laid-off workers. And so there is a bit of a struggle going on with many organisations.
These organisations didn't get the memo that with the recession approaching, they should totally redo their organizational structure?
They missed it completely, and I missed it as well. I think it was hidden somewhere.
Why am I not surprised? So we get questions all the time from reporters asking about this trend. Usually it starts with the recession, how is that impacting VolunteerMatch, and are you seeing that lots of nonprofits are turning people away? Are there too many volunteers? And certainly I think our network at VolunteerMatch we're seeing more growth, but it certainly hasn't been this incredible burst of unprecedented growth in volunteer interest. I think there's a lot of focus on volunteering, and certainly a lot of focus on the benefits of volunteering for people who have been laid off. Often the media doesn't talk too much about what does this mean for the nonprofits. Is there some insight or advice you may have for nonprofits who are thinking about how to welcome volunteers who have been impacted by the recession?
I think the first thing is we don't know if this is a permanent trend or a temporary thing. So some not-for-profits are assuming these people are going to be around for a long time. These people may pop in for a short period of time and then go and get interviews and then go and get work. So they may not be there for a long period of time. What I've been saying to not-for-profits for a long time is they need to have a portfolio of special projects. So that if a corporate group turns up or if a volunteer turns up for a short period of time, they actually have some special projects for that volunteer to actually get their teeth into and get some work done.
That's a great idea. When you're doing trainings, are there certain types of special projects that you keep coming back to as examples?
Well, it can be anything from every organisation has a list of must-do or can-do things sitting there. If you walked around the staff of any not-for-profit and asked people, they'd say, yes, I want to finish the policies around this, or we need to look at our strategic plan, or we need to rethink our marketing, or those sort of things. We're getting lawyers coming in to volunteer, we're getting accountants coming in to volunteer, we're getting marketers coming in to volunteer. Those are the sort of special projects that you could have sitting there for somebody. So I have an organisation in Australia that has completely redone its branding. They got 3 laid-off marketing people to come in, and they did some research around their branding. They've developed a whole new branding campaign.
What I really like about those examples is they're examples of skilled roles, even some pro bono examples in there.